Okay, very first variety up here I got is the Asclepsia in the incarnata. This is a variety that's also known as swamp milkweed. It is a zone 3, the zone 9. It would get 3 to 5 feet in height, as 1 to 2 feet in width. This is more of a pink rose-like flower, as you can see the picture that's on the right. This is in one of our beautiful 2-gallon American Beauty pots. It takes the average to wet soil, and it's will tolerate clay. It's upright clump forming perennial. The great thing about this thing is a bloom time between the months of June and September, and it likes to be into full sun to partial sun. We mostly grow this in full sun, and it does very, very well. It's a great variety for attracting hummingbirds, butterflies, bees, and it's very beneficial to the insects and for nectar. And Jeff wanted to run on this butterfly.
So Asclepsia is one of the plants that's used for monarch butterflies. For anyone who doesn't realize what monarch butterflies do, they do fly south in the fall, and up in Mexico. On their way back up, if you look at the second picture in the collage of pictures, that little dot on the leaf, backside of a leaf is the egg. It will come out of that egg. It takes about 3 to 5 days for it to emerge. It eats quite rapidly on these leaves. It lives entirely off Asclepsia leaves. So a couple years back, Danny called me and said one of his customers said they had a bunch of worms on their Asclepsia plants, and because it was eating the leaves, we felt they needed to spray it. So found these pictures. This is what this is the different stages of a monarch butterfly. You can see what that caterpillar looks like. So kind of keep this in the back of your mind if someone's asking you, well, what should I spray on this? Ask what it looks like. That's what it is. Do not spray it because that's a monarch butterfly. It will emerge later in the year. It flies around, and then in the fall it heads back south and completes the process. So this is part of the reason why we work with pollinators, why American Beauty program exists. This just shows you all the different stages of monarch.
Okay, go ahead, next picture, please. Now you can see that what Jeff just said, that's 2 benefits for this variety right here. It's also a food source for butterflies, and it's also great for pollinator. Now the next Asclepsia we have is the reticulata. This is also known as a horsetail milkweed, zone 3 to zone 9. I guess 2 to 3 feet in height to 2 to 3 feet in width. This is more of a very tiny white flower on it. It's also be grown in a 19 centimeter. It prefers to be in medium to dry soil, and it's upright clumping perennial. This variety blossoms in May throughout September, and it's another good variety that does well in full sun and partial sun. And we have it mostly grown in the full sun, and it does very, very well. Like I said, this is your pollinator attractor. It attracts your hummingbirds, your bees, your butterflies, and like Jeff just said, good butterfly for pollinators, food source also too. So always just keep that in mind. Next picture, please. Now this is probably one of my favorite ones. This is the Asclepsia tuberosa. It's also known as butterfly weed. It's zone 3 to zone 9 also. This one gets a very beautiful gold to orange shades. It is very outstanding and very bright when it comes, in great contrast when it comes to this, the leaves and the flower for this variety. It'll be heavy with buds, and this is probably one of my favorite of the varieties right here. It is grown in a 19 centimeter. It takes the average soil. This is a summer bloomer, and also once again, it planted in full sun to partial sun. Like I said, we planted in direct sun. It does very, very well, and like I said, attractive for butterfly, bees, and the other pollinators.
So while we're on the Asclepsia, we wanted to revisit finish dates. I guess there's been some questions on that. One of the things that Dave's indicated in the past is on these plants, he's telling you roughly when they typically have become available in the last couple of years. So that's past history. We do not schedule these in the early order. There's been issues with getting Asclepsia to finish in time, as well as echinacea. So any of this material that we're showing, if he is indicating mid to late May, and that does not appear anywhere on your literature, that's what that is. It's typically when it historically is finished. like we've done in the past. When we start getting close, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks out, we'll continue to give you updates. Once we get within probably 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll start indicating that we're a couple weeks out. What we don't want to do with any of this material is overpromise and underdeliver. We've gone that route before. We had it scheduled. There again, with this tuberosa, the first sowing should be ready hopefully at the end of May. They're just up. A lot of these other sowings, echinacea, what have you, we're in the process of sowing the seeds. Some liners aren't here. Those plants aren't really here yet. We're relying upon the producers of the liners to get them here to us in a nice, timely fashion when we expect delivery, and also for those liners to be up to grade as far as what we expect.
Go ahead to the next picture, Lee. Okay, now this next variety is the hydrangea. This is the less dense can do. It was originally called can, but the name did change on this variety. So sometimes when we got some varieties you couldn't find it, it's probably because the name had changed on this one. This is a hydrangea serrata. As you can know, this variety grows well in the zone 4 to zone 9. It would get 36 inches to 48 inches in height, to 36 inches in width. It is a rich violet purple with an acid soils. It's saturated to pink in your basic soil. So this is a variety right here that your soil mixture and pH of fertilizer can have effect on the color of the flowers itself. So just keep that in mind. This is a variety that grows in a 3-gallon pot. It likes fertile soil, blooms on new and old wood, and bloom time for this variety is basically in the summer. The unique ability is to create flower buds on the entire length of the stem of this variety. So that's what's basically good for serrata varieties. You'll learn a lot about that by taking those, like Dan was just saying, those proven winter courses is very educational. It can get some really updates on how these things grow in the habits and the varieties. So like I said, a good thing about those proven winter programs they got. Fastest of the rebloomers for a longer season on fabulous flowers. Elegant lace cap flower with an outstanding color, and it's a continuous bloom and rebloomer. And this variety is considered to be salt tolerant, so that's another good plus. Next picture, please. Now, this is a variety that's in virtual. Like Jeff just said, it's not here yet, but it is in virtual. But the next 3 varieties I'm showing you are the new varieties that we're going to be giving out to you for the year 2021. The first variety is a leucanthemum. This is called the marshmallow. It's also known as Shasta daisy. This is zone 5 to zone 9. It will get 18 to 20 inches in height, as well as 20 to 22 inches in width. This is a beautiful, bright white flower on this. As you can see, the leaves almost like sort of like a ruffle. It is in a 1-gallon proven winter pot. It takes the average soil to fertile soil. Bloom time for this is in early to late summer. And this variety, we plant it in full sun, but it's recommended at least it gets at least 6 hours of full sun to partial sun to 4 to 6 hours. So keep that in mind when it comes to that, because it will help decide if you get for your blooms and your flowers for this. So where you plant it is very important for this variety. It is a large flower, is around 3.5 inches. It's a fully double white flower, great for summer blooming plant. Grows best in full sun, and it takes the average to fertile soil. Once again, this is a variety that's in virtual. This hasn't arrived here yet. Next picture, please. Now, this variety is the Leucanthemum Banana Cream 2. We do have a one. This is basically an upgrade of that variety. The difference between this one is this variety is 2 inches taller, and it will get 2 inches wider compared to the original Banana Cream. This is also known as Shasta daisy, zone 5 to zone 9. Like I said, 20 to 24 inches in height, which is 2 inches more. Also, it's 20 to 22 inches width. It has yellow shades. It grows in the once again in a 1-gallon proven winter pot. Takes your average to fertile soil. Full sun, you want to at least make sure you get at least 6 hours of that. Bloom time for this variety is good. It's in early to late summer. It's an improvement of the classic Banana Cream. Takes on all characteristics that gardeners love, and to kick it up a notch. The improvement includes being more floristic.
It gets more flowers when we can
Yeah, florist. I speak with the lips, so I hide it really well. So it's like she would put, like I said, it's a very good improvement, and it gets a lot of flowers, like Jeff just said. And it holds this yellow very, very good. But like I said, this is the upgrade of the banana cream. Next picture, please. And then the last and very variety of this is the Leucanthum spun silk, also known as Shasta daisy. This is zone 5 to zone 9. It will get 22 to 24 inches in height, as well as 20 to 22 inches in width. It has beautiful, pure white shades. Also grown in another 1 gallon proven winter pot. It takes your average to fertile soil. Plant at least 4 hours of full sun this requires. And bloom time for this also, once again, it is in the late summer. All right. Narrow petals with frigid edges and creates a spider-like flower for this variety. The flower from this one is between 4.5 inch, a graceful white flower topping a medium-sized habit. So this one here, you're going to get some really good sized flowers. And as you can see, it's almost like spikes, but henceforth the name for this variety of being more of a spun like a spider web. So that's a nice touch for that. Once again, these varieties are in virtual. They haven't arrived here yet, but we are just showing you so you know, you can let your customer know to be expecting this variety for the year of 2021. And that's what I think I have.
So a couple comments on the Leucanthemum. Most of your breeding that they're going out with now, they're going for these shorter plants. They are looking at, like you saw with the marshmallow, it's more of a double. This one here, they're looking at more of that fringe look. They're trying to match this up, I think, more to make your chrysanthemums grow, your fall mums. But it gives you a wide variety of things to pick from as far as color. The other thing to think about, if you have customers that are having issues with these plants, go back to the early days of Becky. Becky is a very vigorous grower. We'd drive by it in the afternoon, see the leaves flag, figured it was dry, and pour water to it. Leucanthemums have a thick waxy leaf. They typically don't need as much water as what you may think. Make sure you're telling your customers to check the pots, make sure that they actually need the water. If you get too much water on a leucanthemum, like a lot of other perennials, it can lead to crown rot and it will eventually kill the plant. So that's one comment I have on leucanthemum. Try and have them position these plants so that that hot afternoon sun is partially shaded on them. So let's keep that